So what's going on in the housing market here on the Central Coast? Are home prices increasing? Are values decreasing? Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? What's going on with inventory levels? Are we going to see some new homes reach the market? And a big question for a lot of people, what's going on with the mortgage rates? Are we going to see a decrease in quarter 2, 3, and 4? Are they going to stay the same, or are they going to increase? I'll give you my perspective as a real estate broker here on the Central Coast. My name is Joshua Ferris. I've been serving clients for over a decade, helping them buy, sell, and invest. And our goal for these videos is to get you informed and help you make the right decision when it comes to making a purchase or sale here on the Central Coast. So without further ado, please like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get started. This is your May real estate market update here for the Central Coast of California. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the inventory levels. What's going on with the new listings here? So we can see that new listings, we brought on 277 for April, which is up from March, which was 247. Now, if we take a look a couple years ago with a more normalized market in 2022, we saw 383 new listings being brought to the market in April. So we're still down as far as new listings coming to the market, but we are seeing that upward trend, which is a good thing. We've had some inventory issues here on the Central Coast, which is no surprise because we just have a limited housing inventory here. So we've got a housing shortage, but we're seeing a little bit more of that trending up. So that is overall a good thing. However, we're still down, like I mentioned, from normal years, which means that it's more of a seller's market. So reduction of inventory means more likely to be a seller's market and more likely to keep those prices high. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one here that we like to look at, which is active listings. 552 current active listings here in the county for San Luis Obispo. And again, if we take a look at a couple years ago in 2019, we saw right around 1,200. So active listings, we are down overall on the market, but that just means that there's a lot of demand here on the Central Coast, which is no surprise. We have a lot of people moving from out of the area who want to enjoy the beautiful weather here in San Luis Obispo County. And a lot of people who are looking to retire here or can work remotely. So with listings being relatively low, available homes for sale being relatively low, we see that the days on market and the month supply is relatively low as well. So if we take a look at month supply here, we'll see month supply is 2.7, which is up from March, which is 2.4. Now the average historical is 4.0, maybe 3.9. So we're still relatively low when it comes to that month's supply of inventory here on the Central Coast, which again is no surprise because we've got high demand, we've got low inventory. So the available inventory is just not there to meet the demand that we have for those buyers out there looking for homes here on the Central Coast. And that's affecting days on market. So if you are going to sell a house here in, let's say, San Luis Obispo or Atascadero or Paso Robles, and you price it right, you're going to get an offer and get into contract on average between 8 to 15 days. So it's going to go pretty quick. So you want to make sure that you're prepared, you're ready to make that move. You've got everything lined up as far as that replacement property if you're looking to buy a replacement property. But expect to a well-priced home. Now we're not talking about a ranch estate, or we're not talking about, a really specialty type property, but just a single family home on a normal size lot. You're going to expect to see it go pretty quick. Now that's still down from what we saw during the COVID pandemic years, which are like 5 or 6, 7 days on market. So we are a little bit higher than we were a few years ago. However, the average days on market in a normalized market here on the Central Coast was around 25 or 30 days. So we're still way low when we compare it to that. So expect the house to go quick. So if you're a buyer, make sure you jump on it and you see that house that you like right away because you know that first weekend of open houses, they're probably going to receive an offer if it's an attractive house and if it is priced right. So act quickly if you are a buyer, and make sure you're prepared with your pre-approval. You've got a clear understanding of your comfortable monthly budget and your criteria, so you can make a strong offer right away when you see that house and get that offer accepted. So let's talk a little bit about sales price with this reduction in inventory that we've seen, although it's trending up a little bit, and that low days on market. How does that affect the sales price? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. But before I do, just want to do a quick snapshot, kind of fun here, and we can talk about the lowest priced home sold here on the Central Coast and the highest priced home on the Central Coast. I like to do this just to give us a little bit of contrast here. So the lowest priced home on the Central Coast was off of Asilomar in Santa Margarita, and that was $240,000 that closed in the last 30 days. The highest price home here in San Luis Obispo County was in Pismo Beach off Indio Drive, and that one sold just north of $8 million. So pretty amazing that we've got such a high variety, high contrast of price points here for the county. There really is a price point for everybody. So I'd encourage you, if you are a home buyer, and you think, the prices are, a little bit too high for me, just understand that there's entry level for everybody, and you just want to make sure that you've got that pre-approval, you've got that down payment, and that you've got a criteria that's clear, and there are homes out there for you. So don't get discouraged, and keep that search going. And if you'd like to talk to my team about how you can become a homeowner here on the Central Coast, reach out. We love helping first-time buyers realize their real estate goals, so home purchase and home ownership goals here on the Central Coast. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the home sales and what has that lower inventory and those lower days on market, high demand done here for the Central Coast and for the home values. Median sales price for the county was $860,000. In Atascadero, it was around $700,000. In Paso Robles, just under $780,000. San Luis Obispo, $963,000. Grover Beach, for example, $816,000. And so if you want to get an idea of what your home is worth based on your neighborhood, based on your street, based on your configuration and placement in your lot, maybe the views that you have or the lack of views, or what you can do to increase the value of your home, again, please reach out to my team. We are happy to assist you with that. Whether or not you're selling this year or next, we can offer some perspective from a professional listing team and give you some tips on how you can increase the value of your house when you do go to bring it to the market. So let's go ahead and talk about the mortgage rates. And this is an important one because this is really causing the inventory issue that we have right now. So a lot of people who have mortgages, and it could be you, have an interest rate below 4%. So if you have an interest rate below 4% and you're looking to sell your property, maybe it's a townhome in San Luis Obispo, you want to move to Atascadero, have a little bit more land, and you say, okay, I can sell my house for around, $650,000. Let's say you own a condo in Woodbridge there in San Luis Obispo, and you want to buy off El Camino Real in South Atascadero, right? So you go, okay, if I can sell this house for $650,000 in San Luis Obispo and buy a house that's perfect for us, gives us a little bit more room, maybe we can have some farm animals, and it costs $850,000, let's say. Well, you're going to look at that in previous times and go, hey, that's not too bad. We can increase our down payment, and maybe our monthly cost is going to go up a little bit, but you've increased your monthly take home. Now it's going to be a little tricky because maybe you have an interest rate of under 4% and you're looking at interest rates now at around 7%. So that's causing a lot of people to say, stay put and not sell their house. However, everybody's in that same situation. So if you are a home buyer, home seller, home buyer, just know that there's less competition right now when it comes to your home, purchasing a home. And just think, what is it going to be like when those interest rates decrease, right? It's going to increase the number of buyers. It's going to increase their buying power. It's going to increase the purchase price. And typically what you want to do is you want to purchase and have the purchase price be lower and the interest rate be higher, because when that interest rate decreases, that pushes the purchase price and the valuation higher. So don't get discouraged. I know it can be a little bit daunting there with the higher interest rates, but just sit down with a mortgage professional and really understand what your monthly payment difference is going to be and make your decisions based on some real numbers, not based necessarily just on guesses, right, and guesstimates. So mortgage rates being a big thing, what are we seeing for the next few quarters? Well, I was originally hopeful that we'd see some decreases in the mortgage rates. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. We might see maybe a slight decrease, ever so slight in the rates this year, but I don't think we're going to see anything drastic. I think we're going to hover that 6.5% to 7% range for a 30-year fixed for the near future. But I am hopeful that next year we are going to see maybe a drop down into the low 6s or the high 5s, but we'll just have to wait and see. Here's a quote that I pulled up that I think really illustrates what we're dealing with right now. This is out of CBSnews.com. With inflation proving to be stickier than expected, the Fed has signaled that additional rate hikes aren't off the table in the future if price pressures fail to moderate further. The central bank remains focused on returning inflation to its 2% target. It's likely to remain proactive until that point. And here's another one from Freddie Mac. The 30-year fixed mortgage increased for the 5th consecutive week as we enter into the heart of spring home buying season. On average, more than 1/3 of home sales for the entire year occur between March and June. With 2 months left in this historically busy period, potential home buyers will likely not see relief from rising rates anytime soon. However, many seem to have acclimated to these higher rates, as demonstrated by the recently released pending home sales data coming in at the highest level in a year. And I think that really illustrates the point here. In the last couple of years, home buyers were hopeful that the interest rates were going to decrease. And really, I think those days are behind us, and it's wise to get acclimated to the new interest rate environment that we see ourselves in. And just understand, if you're looking to make a home purchase or a home sale and step up, or a home sale and downsize, don't wait for the interest rates. I don't think they're going to come down to 4 or 5% anytime soon. So you may be waiting a long time, and the home values may just continue to rise as the interest rates decrease. So I recommend and I suggest to people, if you're looking to make a move, just make a move, stay within your budget, and make those real estate goals of yours happen. And don't let the market necessarily dictate, trying to wait for the interest rates to decrease or increase. Just trying to find the right house for you, make an offer that makes sense to you and to your budget, and just trust the process. And if you're a home seller and you're looking to sell a house and move into another house, that is an important one to talk about, because we do have that limited inventory. We still have relatively high demand, which means competition. So maybe looking into a bridge loan or other ways that you can secure that replacement property and then sell your primary property that you're in currently in order to make that move. So we've got other videos about that, so you can check those out, but really make sure that you have your timeline and your process in order. And that's something we specialize in, contingent sellers that need to find a replacement property here in the county. So finding off-market properties or coming soon properties, we're being very proactive about finding sellers in the area that you want, I think is really important. So if your real estate team right now doesn't do that, you might want to reconsider and really have an active or proactive real estate team that finds you that inventory that you need. All right, so that is the housing market update here for May. And so if you have any questions, reach out. We'd be happy to answer any of those questions. And I think the theme really comes down to, we continue to see strong valuations here for the Central Coast as a whole. We continue to see relatively high demand. We see those interest rates remaining relatively high, from when you compare it to the last couple of years, and we don't see those decreasing a lot anytime soon. And we continue to see, at least for now, that the market is going to continue to have relatively low inventory, high demand, even in spite of these higher interest rates. So if you're looking to make a move, relocate here to the Central Coast, have a sale, or purchase your first home, again, reach out. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.